Hello guys, this is Slifer Maniac and I'm putting up today my look at this my character deck profile battle city of this young gentleman over there. If you don't realize who that might be, it's the character deck profile of none other than Weevil Underwood. Finally I got it. Let's start it. So what can I say about this very particular character? He was he's a very sneaky, not direct, I would say, a little bit of mysterious character, since he tried to, for example, lure Joey Wheeler into a match against him by engaging a little boy, stealing his dual disc and luring him into a place, and then not even paying that little boy well with an, I think, common standard card, which no one does need really, which is really like expandable. And he did things like that in the Battle City era, but he was also one of those competitors which were in the Duelist Kingdom. He throw all of Yugi's 5 Exodia pieces from the desk of from the top deck of the ship into the ocean, and which Joey Wheeler then jumped after it right on and had to recover them, but he didn't succeed and almost drowned then. As a result of that, you can imagine what kind of very negative, not trustful character he is. But, and I have admitted, as a duelist, he's one of the at least he's one of the world elite duelists, and succeeded into winning the regional masterships. And he's always sticks around with Rex Raptor, and both of them are very strong competitors, they try everything to gain back their prestige which they had before, even to sell their soul for it, as you might see then in the Orichalcos arc. But I don't know if I am dropping also an Orichalcos character deck profile of this specific character. Maybe I do, maybe I'm not, but I do know as a matter of fact that he basically is part of the Orichalcos saga as well. On one hand him, and on the other hand Rex Raptor, which I didn't drop a deck profile from yet, since he was in the Battle City. He took part in the Battle City tournament, but he lost in the first round, and you couldn't really see anything much of his deck except for, I think, Nightmare Snake Dragon. That was all. So you can of course imagine which cards he had left in his deck, but it would be too much made up, so I wait for the Orichalcos arc, and I will of course then drop the deck profile of Rex Raptor as well. Now onto Weevil Underwood. His deck is solely based around insect type monsters, and they are his favorite monsters as well. And his absolute boss monster of his deck is of course Insect Queen, which is the very card that Joey Wheeler wins in his deck as the rules are forcing him, that the duelist which loses the battle has to give his or her rarest card to the winner, and in this specific character it is Weevil. So yeah, he, as a matter of fact, has this Insect Queen, and he will then have it in the other arc as well, and Orichalcus arc. I don't know, maybe he gets it from Darts and his companions, as they have, I think, almost every card except for the 3 Egypt God cards, which they then possess as they steal it. But yeah, don't expand it to anyone. But from any other card, I think, which was printed, they have at least one copy. Then the perfect ultimate Great Moth. I'm not certain 100% whether it was this card or Great Moth that he played out in the Duelist Kingdom, but I think it was Great Moth, but I'm not sure. Still, these are his 3 boss monsters, which whole of his strategy is based on all of the sagas. But in this one saga especially, it is Insect Queen more than others. Then Dreadskite Sense or something like that it's called. In German it's called Schreckensensen and Ernter. This card he does not have in his deck mainly, but yeah, I think it might fit very well in it, so yeah, I put it in there. And then Larval Moth, which he, I think, played out in the Duelist Kingdom in order to summon then eventually his Great Moth. Cockroach Knight. I'm not very aware of that, whether he used that in this arc or whether it was in the Orichalcus arc in which this specific card did take place in. So yeah, maybe it's the other way around and it was just in that. But yeah, still, as I already mentioned, I don't know if I will drop an Orichalcus deck from Weevil, so I put it in here as well. Then of course, Cocoon of Evolution. I didn't yet, but I will put it 2 times in there, as it is one of the main strategies in both arcs, in which he wants to then later on special summon, I think it's Great Moth. And you can also special summon then perfect ultimate Great Moth as well. So yeah, at least 2 times you have it in the deck, maybe 3 times. I don't know. I'm yeah, not 100% sure about that one. Then to go further, this card you need also at least 2 times, maybe 3 times. That is Petite Moth. This is the very card which you need in order to, in combination with Cocoon of Evolution, to special summon one of those gentlemen. And yeah, I think about 6 or 4 turns, so it's not that easy. You have to have a good defense also in order to protect these cards. Then one card which you also played out was Giant Ants. I put it 2 times in there. That was one of his commons. He combined it with another spell card which I also have in this deck. I put in there Basic Insect, which was one of his first cards that he played out in the Duelist Kingdom. Giant Flea, I think he took that card out in the Battle City era, as well as Flying Kamerakiri number 2. Then I have also one of his vanilla cards, Killenil, which also was played out in the Duelist Kingdom era. And Kniff Jumper, I put in there 3 times. I'm very certain that he played this out, but I'm not 100% sure whether it was in the Orichalcos or in the City arc. Then, of course, Kisetai, which he played out, I think, and I'm also in the Orichalcos arc, I think it was. But yeah, I'm not sure about that one, so yeah. As I already said, I have a mixed deck from him now, as I'm not 100% sure whether I will put up another of his character deck profiles at all. Then, Insect Soldier of the Sky. This one he had in the Battle City arc, as well as Flying Kamakuri number 1. And Skull Marine Bog. He played also out in the Battle City arc. And then he had 1 Legul in this arc, and I think in the Orichalcos arc he possessed even 2. Another from his monster cards, which were mainly the strategy was based on, was Parasite, as he sneaked up and put did order the little boy to take the Duelist's disc from Joey in for the purpose to put this card in his deck, and then provoke the action with another spell card which he possesses but is anime exclusive, that he can, if he has this card in his deck, that it's then played out and then infiltrates his deck and destroys his deck, kind of, and turns all of the monster cards from Joey into insect cards, and I think they can't as well attack, but I'm not certain. As well as a modified version of this card I put in there, which he, I think, didn't possess, but Paranite. Yeah, it's a modern version, and I thought maybe, yeah, he would play it out if he possessed it. Then, onto his spells. I have Green Holiness. He didn't use that one, but it's fits into his insect strategy, as it has the effect to, if an insect monster is destroyed from a card effect or from as a result of battle, and put into the graveyard, the controller of this card can take 1 insect monster with the same level from his deck to his hand. Then Forest, which he even possessed, I think, in the Duelist Kingdom arc, which I think increases also the attack and defense stats of an insect type monster, but also from other ones. Then 2 times Insect Barrier, a card which he solely introduced in the Orichalcos saga, and which, if combined with another card, are a good block method to slow down your opponent's attacks. Then Jade Insect Whistle, which if your opponent has Parasite in his deck, you can put it then in on the top of his deck, so he has to draw it. Then the card which I already spoke of was multiplication of ants in combination with giant ants. Put it 2 times in there. Then insect imitation, which I think he played out in the first arc, namely the Duelist Kingdom arc, in order to put his petite moth out. I put it out 2 times. Of course, this one 2 times also. And then insect spray, which he played also out, but yeah, it was really you can say a deck killer for himself, as Joey Wheeler used then Grave Robber and turned this very card against him. Then the Forgotten Insect, which he did not use, but yeah, it has a handy effect, as you can, if your opponent attacks, you can banish 1 insect monster from your graveyard, and you can then negate the attack 2 times, of course. Laser Cannon, which you played out in the Duelist Kingdom arc, I think it was, for the aim to increase the attacks from his insect monster for 1, 300 and 300 attack and defense. Feeding the worm, or worm meal. I don't know how it's exclusively called in English, but yeah, you might translate it like that. Which has the ability to special summon a token if you control an insect type monster on as condition. No, two even. Yeah, might put up a good defense. I think he didn't play it out, but yeah, if he did, you can use that, or if it existed in these arcs. Then onto these were onto his spells. Insect tank cannon, tank laser cannon. Want to put in there as well, as he used it in the, I think it was in the Duelist Kingdom arc, but I don't have it on me yet. But I ordered some 20 boosters from the speed duel format, namely the Scars of Battle, in which they are it's consisted in, are contained in, and yeah. Then if I have drawn it or pulled it out, I will put it in there as well. Then further on, his traps, as I already said, Infinite Dismissal. I don't know whether he played that out in Duelist Kingdom or in the Battle City, but one of the two. DNA Operation, which I called it, that you have to combine it with Insect Barrier, but then it might come very in handy, as your opponent cannot attack you anymore, as long as he has these insect monsters. You turn them into, and it has the ability, you can turn it to any monster type you want, and if you say insect type, then they all become insect type monsters. And the insect barrier, of course, prohibits insect type monsters from attacking you. So, and then Spider Egg. I don't know whether he had it, but it might fit also in this insect type line of monsters and strategy in general. And I would translate the card as Sour Skin. It's you can see of course the artwork. As a matter of fact, I think it's the ultimate Great Moth, or maybe not. It's Great Moth. I think it's the ultimate one, which works also with insect type monsters in order to slow down the opponent. I think something like that. So this was it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah. Hope sure you like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more content. As I already told you in one of the streaming videos, that I have the plan to put up my Bones character deck profile and then leave eventually this arc, and then come to the Cyber Virtual World arc, and then put up the deck profiles, which is this specific era consistent of. To make a long story short, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and goodbye, your Slifer Maniac.